Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we examine headlines from our city, our state, our country. We take a look at your questions and your suggestions and your stories about what you're up to, and we combine all of the above just so that we can have an amazing life, a connected life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English speaking locals. That's right. We love being locals. We love calling Puerto Vallarta home. We love living here. And when we don't, we move elsewhere. It's that simple. I hope you guys are doing great in this beautiful Friday. It's the end of the week. Wouldn't that be nice if people that are unhappy here would simply move elsewhere? I think their lives and our lives will be happier. It is Friday, March 11th, and as always, we have a good selection of news. Oh no, Kate is asking, where is my sun hat? It is very easy. It's on top of my bronze. I just changed it from one place to another, but it's still here and it's still part of the decor. And if it really upsets you, Kate, I will gladly return it to the chair. But I decided I needed to do something about my bronze, and so I decided to cover my bronze and with a hat. And when I say my bronze, I do mean my bronze. I was sculpted. I was sculpted when I was 6, but that's another story for another day. Anyhow, it is a pleasure to welcome you. And if you are new, please let us know so that we can give you a proper welcome. You can just write the word new in your comments and we'll just do a little cheer and a little welcome. If you have something truly important that you wish to share, like Kate did, she's like, that's really important. Where did the hat go? See, Kate has added a capital Q at the beginning of the comment. We look for those. We look for those during the second half of the broadcast, and we talk about them as part of our chit chat section. So we've got news, we've got snarky news, we've got fun news, we have interesting news, and keep Sally where she is. Who is Sally? Who is Sally? That reminds me of that song, Who the Fuck is Alice? Keep Sally where she is. I'm sure that's not for me, but can we what? Excuse me. Can we slow your bronze? Honey, my bronze has been so slow. It's just been sitting there. It doesn't move. It can't be slowed anymore. But it's sitting there. It's a happy bronze. Let's see. Okay, I'm so distracted today. Let us just do the news. Good Lord. Okay, let us start with, oh dear, hold on just a second. Update system audio. Oh no, install later. Oh dear, I upgraded my software to do the broadcast yesterday and it's sending me all kinds of interesting messages. So I hope we're going to be fine. Anyhow, let me get started with our news. Starting tomorrow, Nuevo Leon, the state of Nuevo Leon in the northern part of the country, the state in which I was born, becomes the first state in Mexico to allow being out in public without a face mask. I suppose this is good news. I hope it is good news. This was announced by Governor Samuel Garcia, who referred to the face mask as an optional measure moving forward. We are not there yet here in the state of Jalisco, but I'm glad to see that the state of Nuevo Leon is feeling optimistic about this. Let us hope it is a good measure. 7 months after it was destroyed by Hurricane Nora and its effects on the Rio Cuale current, the government has finally set aside 1,381,000 pesos, which is how much it's going to cost to rebuild the pedestrian bridge connecting the island with El Centro and Points North. Vendors of the area have said that it is absolutely essential to rebuild this bridge because it helps improve the economy. I can't help but to notice that 1.4 million pesos is a lot more expensive than producing a sign that says, folks, if you want to shop at the market or on the other side of the river, all you have to do is walk around Ignacio Vallarta and in 5 minutes, boom, you are there. And we could have a sign in English and in Spanish. And if you're really in a hurry, well, we have alternatives for you. You know, this was devised by one of our own Coffee and Headlines members. You want to go shopping? Just hop on the catapult and boom, you are there. The bridge, the new pedestrian bridge, is expected to be ready in 2 months. This, of course, brings us to our other darling project, which, of course, is the Insurgente Streets Vehicular Bridge, which, as reported in this headline from yesterday, is progressing ever so slowly. Nothing else to report other than the fact that it is moving slowly. Will it be ready by Semana Santa, you think? I'm not so sure, but then again, we're ready. We're ready to deploy this new, forget about Ryanair, forget about Elon Musk. I mean, this business of catapulting expats from one point to another just seems like a good tourist attraction to me. Or maybe I'm just waking up in a particularly snarky mood today. This aerial image shows the devastation of sorry about that. I'm just going through these little messages that I'm getting to deal with the upgrade. This aerial image shows the devastation of yesterday's fire at the El Salado estuary, where 4 hectares of land were completely charred. Or was it 3.5 hectares? Some news outlets reported a different amount. All we can see is a lot of burnt land, and that is very, very sad. The fire is believed to have been started by someone that let himself or herself into the estuary, despite that the estuary is not to be entered. One is not supposed to be there, but a lot of times homeless people sneak in there, and that may be the reason why the fire got started. Well, this talk about snark. It's been 4 days, and we haven't heard a word from the city workers' union leader, who was exposed after the city demonstrations, was exposed for having all these questionable jobs and salaries despite having retired from the city workforce back in 2017. And we wonder why we haven't heard anything from them. Well, I'm sure the gentleman is quite uncomfortable with the accusations that he was presented with. And we have a saying in Spanish called El que calla otorga. And the literal translation would be, he who remains silent gives you, proves himself wrong. That would be the literal translation of that saying. And here, this man was very loud and vociferous when he was protesting about this, that, and the other. And when our mayor cheerfully showed that he is pocketing a lot of money that doesn't belong to him, all of a sudden he is quite silent. Actually, I think it is good. Again, I still don't know who's on the right side or the wrong side of the situation, but I think it's good that the government is cleaning up questionable unions with questionable arrangements that end up deploying the monies of the city. Speaking of monies, an average 22% increase has been reported in restaurant menus throughout the country due to inflation and as a part of the restaurant's strategy to recover financially from the pandemic. This was announced by Jaime Santos, who is the president of the local chapter of the Restaurant Chamber of Commerce, otherwise known as Canirac. And I'm glad that Michael is here in the house because he is a resident restaurant owner. And I'm wondering, Michael, how are you doing with prices? How is inflation hitting you? As you know, not necessarily you, Michael, but as you all know, cluster members here at Coffee and Headlines, we love supporting good restaurants, restaurants that offer quality food at affordable prices. We love supporting small restaurants, small neighborhood restaurants, and we will continue to do that because it's not only the restaurants that are recovering from the pandemic, our wallets are recovering as well. Let's see what else we have. Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Mexico is now considered the epicenter of urban insecurity of the world, given the number of murders that take place in some of our cities. Let's have a look. There's a whole list of cities here, and they show the number of homicides per 100,000 inhabitants. The good news is that Puerto Vallarta is not listed here. The bad news is that Guadalajara is. The top most violent cities in our country are Zamora, Ciudad Obregón, Zacatecas, Tijuana, Celaya, Juárez, Ensenada, and Uruapan. Many of these are border towns or towns located in the northern part of the country. But then we see that the next 10 more dangerous cities start with Colima, which is the capital city of Colima State, just south of us. And of course, Guadalajara appears at the bottom of the list with 31.14 homicides per 100 inhabitants. This comes from El Financiero. There's a source on the article at the bottom. And this was revealed by the Consejo Ciudadano para la Seguridad Pública y la Justicia Penal, which means the Citizens Council for Public Security and Penal Justice. So there you have it. What's next? Oh, speaking of violence, this I wanted to put up here because it gave me some thought, or it made me think about stuff. Gay couple was, this happened to a gay couple at a bar in Tepic. They were kicked out for kissing. Talk about quality customer service. And this made me wonder about a couple of things because, you know, I can appreciate, I mean, I'm gay, I'm very gay, and I can appreciate that. I want to protect my rights as a gay man. But there's something to be said about when in Rome, do what the Romans do. And I wonder when these kinds of incidents happen, if in this case, the gay couple decided to kiss in a place where it was probably not the smartest idea. And some gay friends of mine would be shocked at me saying that, but how dare you say that? I mean, everybody should be able to kiss everywhere. And I agree with that. But let's not be stupid. I mean, it reminds me of all those overweight tourists that saunter around our city with their bellies exposed. I mean, no offense, but I mean, do you see a lot of people around you walking around exposing their bellies when they're in the city? Probably not. Let's look at the weather. My favorite time of year, cold and flu season, says our snarky weatherman. And what I say to that is that we are enjoying 23 degrees, feels like 24. And our humidity is a little higher at 52%. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 73. And our weather forecast for this weekend. Sorry about that. That was the wrong button to push. Our weather forecast for today says clear through the day with a high temperature of 26, low temperature of 14. Tomorrow, Saturday, clear through the day with a high temperature of 29 and low temperature of 15. Sunday, it'll be a clear day with a high temperature of 28 and a low temperature of 16. There you go. Now, let's continue with a couple of other headlines that I want to share with you before we dive into your comments. The first one has to do with, oh my God, God bless, little Montessori Street. Montessori Street, as you know, is that one street that is located near the maritime terminal, and it's been rebuilt slowly, and it continues to flood, and it floods homes that are located in its vicinity. And now authorities are thinking, well, if it continues to flood, should we raise it? So I tell you, I don't know what's going to happen here, but when I saw this headline saying that they might change the level, as in the height of the whole street to keep it from flooding, I don't know. It doesn't sound to me like a very sound approach, but what do I know? I'm not a street builder, so I don't know what I'm talking about. What I can talk about is a couple of interesting events that you may want to consider for the next few days. Boca Las Animas Cleaning Day with Banderas Bayside Project is happening on Sunday. And then on subsequent Sundays, if you're feeling strongly about our environment and you want to participate in a community initiative to clean the beach, this is an event that you may want to look at. We're going to share it as part of our show notes later on today. And I have another one. This is an Irish rock painting workshop that will take place tomorrow at 11 a.m. I think this would be a great opportunity not only to paint luck of the Irish rocks, but also to learn about this technique, which looks like a lot of fun. This is going to happen at the Annex Studio and Gallery at the Witchery Salon. Again, we don't know much about these organizers. This is simply events that I saw on Facebook that I thought you might enjoy. Now, let's turn over to your comments and questions to see what everybody is up to this morning and what everybody is up to this weekend. If you have anything fun planned for yourself and you want to let us know what it is, please feel free to do so. Oh, and I heard through the grapevine that What a Drag is this weekend. And when I say I heard through the grapevine, it's because I haven't seen beep about the event this year. Somehow, either I'm not paying attention or their publicity engine is not what it used to be. But we hope it's going to be a fun event. I think it's going to happen on Sunday. Good luck. Let's see. Lots of hellos and lots of good mornings. Karen asks, well, that doesn't have a Q, so it's probably not for me. Alan, one more sleep. You will not be able to sleep because you are going to come down here tomorrow. You'll be wide awake. I love it. Dan is wondering about his comments. Again, yesterday afternoon when I was reviewing the broadcast comments, I had to unhide a number of them. I did a quick Google search to try to see if there was any general or widespread issue with Facebook, and I couldn't find anything, but I'm going to continue to unhide comments, because every comment is special until it's spammy. And I will continue to research this so that we don't have to do that every single day. Liz is looking for live music this weekend. Does anybody have any fun suggestions? Please let Liz know. Let us know. I won't have much time this weekend to go and enjoy live music. I am entertaining guests from out of town, and these are very self-sufficient guests, the kind that I enjoy the most. Let's see what else. John Russell asks, what happened to the plastic bottle recycling bins in Emiliano Zapata? I have no idea. Diane says, can we see your bronze? Oh dear. It's a little heavy, but hold on. Oh my God, that's me in my pajamas. Okay, so my late father, who was a patron of the arts, had me sculpted when I was 6. And it's made of bronze, and it was made by a Monterrey artist named Cuauhtemoc Zamudio. And it says here 1968. Let me put it down. Ah, there you go. Doesn't everybody get a bronze done when you're a child? No, I'm just kidding. My father was a big patron of the arts, and that's why I ended up with a bronze of myself. I also have a portrait of myself when I was 17, but that's what my father used to do for fun. What can I tell you? Let's see. Karen says, thank you to Amy Armstrong for filling in as MC for What a Drag. She's a good friend of many. There you go. Let's see what else we have. Do 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 do. I tell you, the catapult thing. I love the catapult idea. Boing. You know, one boing, one tourist after the other. Every time we have a demonstration, you need to get quickly to the airport. Just hop on the fracking catapult and leave us alone. Oh, come on, John. That is such a cheap shot. Did you know that Pamela Chu is in Puerto Vallarta? Oh my God, I wish I was there to meet her. If you don't know who she is, look her up in YouTube. Of course, I know who she is. And if you want to know who Pamela Chu is, just write Pamela in your comments, and we'll be so happy to explain who Pamela Chu is at the end of the broadcast. That is such a low blow, but I love it. Oh dear. Let's see what else we have. Michael commented about the leader of the union. The leader shit the bed. Yes, I would tend to agree that is the case. Michael responds to my query. We have not increased prices. If it was like 5 to 10 pesos here and there, how much could one possibly increase prices before your restaurant sat empty? I think 22% is overestimated by the Restaurant Association. I agree what you are saying, and Michael, I will continue to love and support your restaurants because the food is great, the quality is outstanding, and you have been a wonderful friend to our community here at Coffee and Headlines. So if anybody does not know what restaurants we are talking about, we are of course talking about Le Bistro, Café. No, I'm just kidding. We're talking about Siam PV. We're talking about Bravos, and we're talking about Poblanos, the 3 restaurants that Michael owns in Emiliano Zapata, and of course the De Los Tules branch of Siam PV, my favorite because it's near my home. Troy responded to my comment about the gay couple. Love is love. Yes, you're right, Troy, but if I am tonguing with someone at a bar and somebody's about to beat the shit out of me, I don't know that love is going to help. But you're right, in theory. Let's see. Da, 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 da. David says, thankfully, I am on the modest side and do not expose my overweight belly. Neither do I. Neither do I. Gary says, not a fan of public displays of affections. See, there's an acronym I know. Let's see what else. Ray says, PDA, get a room, please. Yes, I totally agree with that. There are places for everything. There are places where, yes, I do want to see a couple of guys tonguing. But then there are places in which you got to wonder, you know. And I see this a lot with gay couples that visit from north of the border. And I see them holding hands on the Malecón. And I see them holding hands in places where, you know, this ain't Castro. I side with when in Rome, do what the Romans do, and I try to keep things mellow. Da, 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 da. Deborah asks, this is good to know about Montessori Street. That is where I will be renting this summer. Eek, should I bring a boat? No, my dear, you don't bring a boat. You guessed it, you bring your own catapult. That's what you do. And Rod says, if they raise the level of the street, where will the water go? Down into the homes and businesses? Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Do, 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 do. You guys are full of snark today, and I love it. My last full day here in Puerto Vallarta was yesterday. Oh, Michael. Had a great lunch at Siam. Perfect. Going back to Phoenix in my move day in July. It is my move day in July. I take it that is when you move here. I'm not sure, but Michael, I'm just happy that you enjoyed a good week in town. Uh, Honey, I am late. What happened? Well, if you want to know what happened, watch the show after the broadcast is over. So hard to leave Puerto Vallarta after 3 weeks. I would say the same thing. Thank you very much, Diane. I appreciate that you like the bronze. My father, being a big, big homophobe, never ceased to startle me because somehow I was the one that got the queer things done. I mean, we all got portraits painted, but I was the one that got the bronze. And my father, he was not an easy man. Let's see. Lots of comments of the bronze. For years, when I was a kid, I thought that every kid got a bronze, and then I realized, seriously, Angelo, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about because you've never been there, and chances are you never will. Let's see what else we have. John, thank you very much for that. But as you know, we do not like when people post URLs to other things. Kindly consider this moving forward. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, kindly visit our frequently asked questions section. You put up URLs of other websites, you get banned. Simple as that. Next time, please run it by me. Thank you. Let's see. Oh my God, you all want to know about Pamela. Okay, I will save that for the very end. What kind of camera equipment did you upgrade to? Thanks for all that you do. Thank you thank you, Holly, for making that remark. This time around, it was the software that we use, which is called Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live, the software that we use to do the broadcast, it got a major update. It has all kinds of new bells and whistles that I haven't had a chance to explore yet, and that's what I was talking about earlier today. Pamela, don't let me forget about Pamela at the end. Let's see. Tomas says everyone should be able to hold hands wherever they want. If you don't like it, don't look. Tomas, that is entirely your opinion, and I am not going to challenge you or anything or make you change your mind. But that everybody should. You're right. Everybody should. Unfortunately, the world doesn't work that way. And we are at the end of the comments. Pamela Chu. Let me put this up on the screen so that I can explain this better. I can still do this. Okay, so let me see. Pamela Chu. And there it is. So there is Pamela Chu. She is a lovely lady, or is she? So you see, if you say her name very fast, then if you say her name starting with the last name, it becomes this, Chu Pamela. If you say that fast enough, then it becomes this, Chu Pamela. Chu Pamela, 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 Chu Pamela. And Pamela Chu becomes Chu Pamela in a very funny Mexican song because Chu Pamela means suck my dick. So that's why I was saying that was a low blow, no pun intended. So if you go onto YouTube, you will find, and you could do a search for Pamela Chu, you will find the song Pamela Chu. And it is one of those. It is one of those things. It's a funny thing. You have to understand Spanish, I suppose, to find the humor on it, in it, and that's what I have to say about that. In fact, I'll tell you what. I'll put the link to Pamela Chu in the show notes so that you can see the kinds of silly things that makes us Latin American or Mexican men get giddy and laugh about. Uh, I beg your pardon. Where do you get the stuffed potatoes? What the hell are you talking about? Did we talk about stuffed potatoes today? That I have no idea what you're talking about. Um, so where do I get the stuffed potatoes? I get the stuffed potatoes at the stuffed potato store, of course. Let's see what else. I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race. There's a contestant that looks a lot like you, Paco. I'm going to take that as a compliment, although when I get caught up with my episodes, I may not. Thank you very much for that. Um, and Albert, of course, our restaurant conquistador, whenever he's in town, says, I learned the most unusual things on your show. Well, Albert, that makes two of us. There is never there's never a broadcast. And Michal adds, you mean the potatoes? You mean the potatoes at Sanctuary Taco? Oh, I see. I see. I see. So what Brent Jean Carter meant to ask is, where is the website where you put all the information in the show notes so that we can go and research what you talked about 2 days or 3 days or 4 days ago? That's very easy. That's the same website that you see at the top of our comments on every single broadcast, which is our website, paco-ojeda.com. And that is what we're talking about. Thank you very much for watching today and every other day. It is always a pleasure to get together with you. And it is always a pleasure to look forward to the next day, where in today's case, we still have no idea what we're going to talk about tomorrow. But always, there is always something interesting that comes up. Between now and then, stay happy, stay kind, visit the website, lots of information there. Stay safe and have a great day.